Husband packed his clothes and left. Been gone 2 weeks and won't tell me his location and not paying any bills. My husband told me he needs a year away from me to heal. Background. He's claiming I deeply hurt him emotionally by emotionally cheating. Didn't know emotional cheating was a thing. I don't consider what I did as cheating. I was not physically intimate with anyone and did not date anyone. Just chatted with an old friend via text where my old feelings resurfaced. Haven't even met the person F2F before. When I finally realized I had feelings for someone else, I was honest with my husband about it. I told him up front that I want to separate or divorce because we've had serious marital problems for many years, and I am extremely unhappy. I told him this last year and years previously, even before I started talking to my friend again, but never pulled the trigger to end this miserable marriage. I didn't want to break up our family, and I didn't want to hurt my husband because I still cared for him. I've been seriously hurt by him for years but stuck around, endured, and tried to hold it together for the kids. But now I realize I should have gotten a divorce years ago. Presently, he's been gone for 2 weeks now and will not tell me where he's staying. He has turned off his Life 360 app, so I can't find his location. He left me with 3 kids ages 21F, 18F, 12th grade, 12M. I also have 3 cats and lots of saltwater and freshwater fish. He's not paying any bills but directly sent my 18-years-old daughter $200 for food for her, and my son via PayPal. Seems he's trying to create a paper trail for support. PayPal is holding the money for some time, maybe because it's a new account. He refuses to send me anything to help out with bills. I usually pay the bulk of bills anyway. I read online that GA law considers abandonment if the spouse has been gone for a year. Can I still divorce him on grounds for abandonment, even though it's only been 2 weeks? I haven't filed any paperwork yet because I wanted to give him time to cool off. Yesterday I changed locks and reprogrammed the garage opener. Previously I've been asking him for months now to just do an uncontested divorce and make it easier on all of us. He refused. He still wants to remain married and work out our problems. I also make 3 times more than him, and he has always had trouble keeping a job. So throughout our 19Y relationship, 10 years married, I have paid the majority of the bills, especially throughout the many instances where he was not working. So, he was living a comfy life and not trying to give that up. I never agreed to being the one who pays most of the bills, but I was forced to do so since he could barely ever keep a job long enough to put a dent in some debt. So, if emotionally cheating is a thing, then financially cheating should be considered a thing too, and this was done to me for 19 years. We've been going to marriage counseling for months and nothing has been resolved. If anything, things just keeps getting worse and worse. He even still wants to do marriage counseling now even though he left the house. We both showed up to counseling last week, and I told him that I can never take him back after him leaving like that. He's emotionally unstable and just abandoned me, the kids, and his responsibilities to the house. I told him this marriage is irreparable and must and will end. He refuses to give me his location to avoid being served. But I know where he works so I can have him served at his job. But he knows this, so I wonder will he answer the request to come down to see his visitor? So next question is, what are some ways to serve a person who's avoiding being found and served? I can try to serve him in marriage counseling, but I already know he's not going to take anything I hand him. Maybe I can ask the marriage counselor to do it. Can the counselor legally do this? Or maybe I have the process server show up at his job or the counseling office. My husband is trying to outsmart me and is only communicating with me on FB. He asked me have I put an ad in the newspaper yet? So obviously he's doing his own research and looking at ways how I would legally go through with separation without me serving him directly. He's purposely not trying to be found. He's going to make it extremely difficult for me and is trying to hurt me financially, which in turn hurts the kids. What are my legal rights when your husband has abandoned the house, not paying bills, refuses to disclose his location, and avoids being served? He still has plenty of stuff here at the house, and I'm in the process of packing it all to make it easier for him to come get it. He's not welcome back in this house, so I changed the locks and told the kids to not let him in the house. I only want him to come get his things when I am home. I guess I could serve him then, but he's not in a rush to get his things. He's probably sitting comfy at a relative house. He has a big family and is a mama's boy to the end, and they all support him well and treat him like the man baby he is. He refuses to give me a time and date when he's coming to get his stuff, and left his stuff here indefinitely. I told him this is not a storage facility and come get his stuff or pay some rent. He's not doing neither. I have started to remove access to all accounts, ring devices, etc. His garage door remote will no longer work and neither will his keys. I will remove him from my health insurance when open enrollment starts in November. I removed his phone number from my plan. I'm decoupling everything. I want to remove him from the car insurance, but since we are still legally married, they won't allow me to. Can I remove him from the car insurance if we are legally separated? Could I get my own car insurance with just me and the kids? I don't want to pay for nothing for him, because he's not contributing anything. I think the next step is to first file separation on my own until I can get the money for a lawyer, and then file for divorce. I want this marriage to end and I don't want to pay alimony because I feel that I've involuntarily taken care of him long enough when he was able to work, but could never hold a job long due to his own personal issues, lack of confidence, quit because he didn't like the people, and maybe even due to some mental issues. I never agreed to be the breadwinner here. I got with him with the expectation that he will contribute his fair share and be honest and diligent about obtaining and keeping a job. He would want joint custody of our 12-year son for sure, but with his jobless track record, does he have a chance at being granted this? I would like for him to pay child support for the 12 years old and the 18 years old since she's still in high school. Any advice on next steps? Get an attorney, right? It's so costly, but life be life ing for sure, and I have to do what I have to do. Update from Crosspost. Comments are locked by Mod on legal advice and I got so many deleted posts by Mod I'm replying here. Yes, I want attention and curious about what folks think about this. I gave some info, but if I give too much folks might figure out who I'm talking about here. But now I'm wondering if I should even care. Let me try to still be general and not give away too much here because I tend to be super detailed. This is for folks wanting to know what hurt he has caused me. Major incidents. He kidnapped our daughter in 2008 for 2 to 3 days. When she was 1 year, he stopped the car in the middle of the highway lane out of anger. Could have caused major pile-up and took lives. Left 1-year son in the car by himself for some time while he went to do a gig. Repeatedly quit jobs, got fired from jobs back-to-back year after year because of him emotionally not being able to handle it, leaving me to always pay the bills on my own. Continuously involves his family, especially his mom, in our personal marriage problems. His family never liked me, so of course they will never see fault in him, and I'm always the one to blame and at fault. I can name several incidents in this category alone. No wife wants a man who has to run to his mommy for everything. Did I say he could never financially support us, and this was never the plan? He broke his promise to me. I finish school first, then he goes to school and finish while I hold down the bills. He never went back to school to get his education as we agreed on. He tried and failed and believes school is not for him because of his learning disability. He just learns differently but should not have given up and broke his promise to me. But since I've been working professionally and got several degrees, I make good money and he was supposed to as well. This was the plan and he broke his promise. I even agreed to help him learn and pay for school, but I refused to do his work for him like his mom always did growing up. I refused to break my academic integrity, because no one ever did my work for me in college. I earned my degrees. I wasn't going to do his work for him. He refused to study and learn, and instead chose video games, and to work low-paying gigs without a guaranteed paycheck I could count on. I never agreed to this. The lies, the countless lies he has told to me. So many situations. He lies because he didn't want to deal with the aftermath. I was honest with him about my feelings for the other guy, because I wanted to show him what honesty looks like. I wanted to be upfront and honest because I would want the same honesty in return. I did not get that. He lied about theft at a major retail store he worked at and blamed it on others working there when he was in on it all along. Poor judgment. He got away with it and was and still is paranoid that others involved will come after him for pinning it on them. It took him 4 years, but he finally admitted to me that he was in on the theft of over 20K to 30K worth devices. I actually had to probe and figure it out on my own, because he wouldn't tell me. He finally admitted it to me and then blamed me for his poor choice. saying I sent him back to a toxic environment because I told him to keep a job. I was admitted to psych ward with suicidal ideation because of all the misery of this marriage. He admitted the reason for abandonment and sleeping on the couch on and off during the pandemic for 4 years 2020 to 2024 was because he was depressed and felt less than a man for hurting me. But he admitted the real reason was that he blamed me for making him keep his job versus telling him to quit. I told him to report the theft, not join them. He was afraid to report it, so he joined them. Yet he blamed me for his poor choices and said they threatened him. He later admitted this was a lie. He joined them. The hurt and the lies sent me to the loony bin for 5 days. He sent me a suicide note last year because the stress was too much for him. I had to call the police to find where he was. I chose not to do a 1013 on him, but I guess I should have. I didn't want him to go down that path. But it's funny how 1 year later I ended up in the psych ward, which wasn't that bad BTW. I was at peace somewhat. There's so much more. And yeah, I've been in therapy for 5 years. He's been in therapy too, but stopped and refused to go consistently for individual therapy, and he stopped all of his medication. My therapist dropped me after 4 years and said marriage counseling is best. Been in that for some months and have gotten absolutely nowhere. Yes. He slept on the couch for 4 years and seems he only came to bed for sex. This is documented in an Excel sheet. He neglected me from 2020 to 2024. I went back to school to get a whole other degree during this time to distract myself. I should have just divorced him then, but gave him time to be in his feelings. I wasn't even talking to anyone then. There was no other man than just school for me. That was my distraction.